So right now there's a really silly drawing on the screen, but this analogy between these two buildings is exactly why everything you have been told about how to build a business online or offline is almost completely wrong because the digital marketing age has changed a lot. Consumers and your audience have changed a lot. And if you do not adapt to this new age right here on your screen, the one on the right, I believe it's the one on the right that you're seeing, then your business will fail and or you will lose a lot of the marketplace that you currently do have. So we're going to go through, no breaks, no cuts, no nothing. We're going to go through exactly why you need to adapt to the new kind of business because the old, really simple way doesn't really work anymore. So let's go through three main things that I want to cover that are kind of not new, but just really important concepts that if you don't understand and don't use, you will fail. Number one, as much as I hate to say it, there are no gimmicks. There are no one-trick secrets. There is no, if you do this one thing, you will fly past all competition, generate sales, generate leads, and be the ultimate success. That does not exist. At least it doesn't anymore. Because here's why. There is so much competition. That one thing you found improving your offer. Maybe you read the book by Alex Ramosi. Maybe it's something you've learned from Frank Kern. Maybe it's something about funnels you've learned from Russell Brunson. Your competition is already doing that one thing and 10 other things they've learned. While learning and knowledge is important because of the freedom and the the sheer amount and volume of information online. Almost everyone has pretty much the same information at their fingertips at all times, which means that the majority of your competition, unless you've magically found and created one single product that's different than any other in the world, which most likely is not true, your competition is most likely better than you and better at being better than you, which I'll explain. So you have to understand that there are no gimmicks, and if there are gimmicks, if there are secrets, if there are really fantastical, really good, amazing things that you can do, your competition is already doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. Which brings me to number 2. If in business you want to truly run your business profitably, you want to run it efficiently, you want to run it in such a way that you are able to scale past competition and absolutely produce a lot of customers, leads, results for your customers, and all the amazing things that you want to accomplish in business. I'm letting you know now, it's going to take learning everything. You can no longer be a one-trick pony. You must master or have people on your team or people in your business who have mastered all of these different things, all these different hacks, business growths, gimmicks, all of them. You need all of them because if you want your little dainty, simple house to work out, how can it? If in this building, your competition's building, everyone in here is properly trained and knows everything about their own craft, and they also know how they relate. So here's an explanation of that, basically. With companies that are very efficient, profitable, and that perform very well, their employees, let me do this auto draw here. Their employees, let's just say this is Bob here. Bob doesn't wear just one hat. Let's say he's a copywriter. Bob just doesn't wear just the copywriting hat. He understands the marketing, how the copywriting connects to the marketing. He understands the email marketing and how that integrates. He understands the advertising. He understands at least between 3 and 5 different skills that intertwine with his main skill. So why is that important? Because when you have little tiny Timmy here, who only understands just copywriting and copywriting alone, when he's writing copy for ads, for emails, for other forms of marketing, content production, SEO, you name it, he doesn't have the same knowledge and skills to make those writings, to make his main copywriting perform as well as Bob over here. So you have to understand that maybe you're a one-man show, one-man solopreneur, or maybe you have a few VAs, or maybe you have a few employees underneath you. It doesn't matter. You and or your employees must become extremely efficient at just not mastering the one thing you're responsible for: HR, sales, SEO, marketing, advertising, media buying, you name it. You must also become good at a variety of other closely related skills as well, and learn what makes those things great, because without those, your competition who does have people who are that much more valuable and that much more skilled, whatever you produce, they're going to multiply. Whatever you think your business is capable of, they're going to absolutely blow you out of the water, because their people are that much better at integrating all of the parts of business that intertwine and work together fluidly when you understand how they're actually connected. So you must have it all. And as well, you must also not just have all of the knowledge and resources and tools, you need to have the actual, like I said just now, software and tools to make these things become a reality. Because often businesses want the cheapest tool, the cheapest CRM, the cheapest web hosting, the cheapest you name it possible. That does not work anymore. For example, very few online or digital businesses do email segmentation or any split testing of any kind. However, email segmentation and split testing are two of the probably top 5 fastest ways to instantly increase profitability. So if you aren't doing, let's just say, split testing of your checkout carts, your sales pages, and opt-in rates, and for most of your business's journey, you accomplish a 10 to 20% opt-in rate, a 10 to 20% checkout rate, which is extremely high. That's not even realistic. Let's go to 1 to 2%. Let's just use 2. A 10 to 20% opt-in rate and a 1 to 2% checkout rate. So out of every 100 people that see your opt-in page, between 10 and 20% of them opt in. And from every 100 people that see your checkout cart, 1 or 2 of them will actually buy. And you don't optimize anything. You don't learn how to optimize. You don't learn how to split test. You just keep doing what you're doing and focus on just your skill set as the manager of the business. You just are managing your employees moving along. And each one of your people only know what they know, and they keep focusing on just that task and not learning how they integrate and work together. If you were to simply, let's say you have your competition. This is you right here. Let me do this. You're at 10 to 20% opt-in and 1 to 2% checkout cart. You don't split test at all. But your competition, this is Tim, this is Bob. Bob does split test. So by split testing, Bob was able to not just increase his opt-in rate to 30%, he was also able to increase his checkout cart rate to 4%, which is double yours. And here's the thing, over time, most businesses and people don't realize how significant this difference is. This is only let's just say you're at 20%, he's at 30, you're at 20. That's only a 10% difference. That's what you think, right? It's only 10% more opt-ins. No. 20% opt-in rate to 30% is a 50% increase in leads. A 50% increase in leads. Now, what does that mean? You get 50% more leads. Yes, but you also cut your advertising costs in half because you're spending less money in order to produce more leads. So, while it's only 10% higher, quote unquote, he's generating like 1.5 times more leads than you, which is really good. Let's say it could even go to 40. So, between 1.5 and 40% more leads than you. He's spending less money to do it. So that alone, that one single advantage, if you are not doing split testing alone, you are getting wrecked by all of your competition, and you can never match that just on that statistic alone. Just on that. Now, let's say Bob also split testing and doing segmentation, and he gets his checkout cart sales rate to 4%, which is double yours. Not just did he increase his opt-in rate by 1.5 times, he also increased, compared to you, his, conversion percentage, or the number of people who are actually buying from him, double. So he essentially doubled his profit, plus a 50% increase. So he 2.5 times profit off of 2 changes which any business can do. Now, again, let's just say this is you now. Let's just say you're doing this. You decided you're going to split test, and you are going to make these two things increase. You're going to improve these metrics. That's great. That's absolutely fantastic. But what happens again when Bob, because you've only done two of these things, when Bob, this is Bob now. Sorry, this is you. This is Timmy. Now this is Bob. This is you. This is you. Let's clear this up a little bit. You're at 30 and 40, and now you're at 2.5x. Let's just say, and I'm not gonna clear this up. This is a mess, but that's okay. I don't mind. Sorry if it is for you. So now Bob, let's just say you guys are equal in metrics right now. You're both equal. Not anymore, because again, he has more talented skill, more people in his employee base, or himself is more talented. He's learned a lot more about how to connect every part of marketing, sales, advertising, you name it, lead generation, etc. And he's doing everything possible to surpass himself and also his competition. Let's just say he also added a one-click order bump. One-click order bumps are notoriously for literally instantly increasing profit with zero effort. He introduces a one-click order bump and a guarantee, a better guarantee. You don't really have a guarantee, even most likely. One-click order bump can increase profits anywhere from 20 to 100%. Literally, it is possible to double your profit from a one-click order bump. So, a 20 to 100% increase in revenue sets them, especially in the long term, if you raise the long term of this effect, ahead of you, there's nothing you can really do. There's nothing you can do. He will surpass you. Plus, if you combine that with him as well, improving his guarantee or his offer, maybe he lands, again, another 20, 30% more clients. And he starts doing this and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking all of these improvements together, because him and his team have, number one, understood how their marketing, sales, advertising, SEO, content, social media presence, offer, guarantees, etc. all connect together. And they've learned how to optimize, scale, and improve all of them at once. What do you think happens to a business like this? They completely dominate the marketplace, and every other business cannot almost ever, it's almost nearly impossible, unless they change their ways. It's nearly impossible for them to scale. And this is where a lot of businesses, most likely yourself, are at. You think it is impossible to grow or to scale, or you're growing very slowly, or you're in a decline. You're in one of those three buckets. Very few businesses are actually going as much as they say they are online. Very few businesses are actually doing that. So because of that, you need to change your ways. You need to realize that finding one gimmick or one secret or one tip is not going to do it. You need to, and or have people on your team learn everything. Number one, about how to improve and optimize every aspect of business, and also how they work together to improve them all simultaneously. If you can do that, your business will scale much faster, you'll become much more profitable, and you'll see much better results in life, and in your business, and in your profits, and all that good stuff. Now imagine if you increased customer retention. My also point of kind of going over all these things is, so I'm pointing out things you can think of that you can actually increase and optimize right now. Customer retention. If you increase customer retention by 2 or 3 times, you again multiply your profit by 2, 3, 4 times. Just that one metric alone. How do you increase customer retention? Increase customer satisfaction, have better quality support, have different incentives to keep customers longer, you name it. All of these different things integrate together. And often people, this is kind of the fourth thing or third thing, I'm not sure which one it is now, but this is where people hear these things. They know they should be split testing. They know they should have email segmentation. They know they should follow up more. They know they should have a guarantee. They know they should do these things, and they never do, and they never scale. All of this means absolutely nothing. Everything possibly, if you're not going to apply what I've told you, everything I just went through means absolutely nothing. Why? Because you don't implement. That's 4 or 5. I'm not sure what I'm on, but it's the main point of you must implement what you learn and actively actually use it and do it. It is the biggest number one thing that it is such a common nuance and common thought that no one still does it. Every business I have ever talked to in my consulting does not follow up enough and has no idea how to actually follow up at all whatsoever. They don't resell. They don't resell customers who've said no. They don't resell customers who've said yes. They don't resell customers who have neither said no or yes. They're just kind of existing. They don't do the vast majority of everything I just went through. I can almost guarantee you're only doing maybe one of them. Maximum two. You must implement what you learn and stop learning to a certain point. Yes, there's a certain point where there almost is no return on learning more. Once you've gathered enough information, you know for a fact, here are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things we can do or I can do to instantly increase profits in the business, and you apply those. The next thing you must do to learn how to scale, grow, optimize your business more is look at the data that is presented to you from making those changes. And from the changes that produce the most revenue, follow those and do more things like those to increase profit even more. So data collection, understanding, being able to properly analyze your data is the next step. All these things all come together. All these things all have to do with each other. And unless you and or your employees are willing to learn how to grow, optimize, and actually learn what you or their task is and how that relates to other tasks, and then also learn how to optimize those tasks and activities and metrics, and then also learn how to get better at knowing how to optimize those things and get better with your time and get better with your efficiency, and then knowing how to look at all the data you're producing and then make even better changes. If you cannot do that, your business will not scale profitably or at the pace that you want it to. I absolutely guarantee it. So, it may just be a silly drawing, but you don't want this basic house, this basic offer, this little thing over here. I know you don't. I know that you want growth. You want your business, you want to serve as many people as possible. You want to help as many people as possible grow and get the results they want in their life with your products and services. You want that, you need that, something you actually truly desire. And you want to make a lot of money in your business as well. Of course, we all do. If you don't apply this stuff, you will get nowhere. So this is just a video kind of going over what you actually need to know and apply and learn in order to scale and optimize the business properly. Now, this is very just off the top of my mind because I become so frustrated with businesses as I talk with them, as I work with them, some of the ones I don't work with, some of the ones I do work with. And I see what they do and do not do. And there's so much that businesses lack in action and follow-up and in their sales process and in upselling and downselling and list segmentation, email segmentation, split testing, etc. They miss so much, and I know they can see such better results if they just took the action and did what I told them to do or what they know they should do already, but they're just waiting for something magical to happen. So I appreciate you for listening to my little rant. This is just a video that I came up with at the top of my head to just really walk through what I know for a fact are a few things off the top of my head that businesses need to do more of, and why they need to take a look at what they're doing, what competition is doing, and why they need to realize that they're not that far away. You are not that far away from the growth and profit you want. You're right there. A 10% increase in opt-in rate, a order bump, a little more upselling, better follow-up, you name it, is the difference between you being at 6 or 7 figures and going to 8 or 9 figures, especially if you add them all up and do them all at the same time. Plus, there's a lot more. There's still a ton more of things you can do to scale, optimize, grow, advertising, SEO, content production, lead production, sales, you name it. So, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I hope this cleared up a few things, or at least made you, at the very minimal, think about what your next move should be. Thanks.